And the reason I'm so passionate about doing this work is because I experienced many, many dark years in my life and just thought that that's what life was just, it's just a painful experience. And so I experienced a lot of trauma during my childhood and particularly my adolescent years. And I just, and a lot of the trauma I experienced was at the hands of people that I was supposed to trust and that were supposed to love me, but instead they hurt me. And then when I was 24, I finally found a man, the first man who like made me feel that I was lovable and who just loved me in ways I never imagined. And then a year later, I found him dead. And I just, my one bright light just went out. And so here I'd been so scared about like what was lurking around every corner because for years I had experienced so much pain. And then I got this glimmer of hope, this man who brought so much joy into my life and love into my life. And then like that, just in one day, he's gone. And my world just came crashing down at that moment. And I reached some very low points. I wasn't bathing for days. I couldn't work. I was just, in many ways, just falling apart. And what happened is that, because my work wasn't working at that time. My mother was supporting me financially during that time, in a time where she didn't even have the means to do so, but she did. But I just kept falling further down, and I was becoming more self-destructive. And finally, she put her foot down and said, "Enough is enough, Stephanie. You have to get help, or I'm not going to be able to continue to support you." And that was, of course, very hard for me, but it was actually one of the best things that she could have ever have done for me, because I don't even know if I would still be here today if it wasn't for her drawing the line in the sand. And when she drew that line in the sand for me, I had to do some deep reflection and look to see if I wanted to stay where I was at or if I wanted to get out. And what I decided is I wanted to get out. And what that meant is I had to create a plan to get out. And so I couldn't just go right from, not working to just working and functioning every day if I was barely surviving. So I had to, literally little steps at a time, had to begin the healing process. And so what I did every day is I set small goals for myself. In my journal, I would write my goals for the day. And they were very simple. And I say, quote unquote, simple, because for me, they were very difficult. But my initial goals were to bathe, were to brush my teeth, were to take out the trash. And what something happened once I started doing some of that basic self-care again. What it did is I started to feel better. And as I started to feel better, I became more confident that I could move on.